Hello and good morning from the piled up desk of the 389 project today. Man, we got all kinds of stuff on the desk. We've been doing all kinds of testing this week, making all kinds of new stuff, battery boxes. Real quick on this video, I want to again send out a big thanks to Tim Alburn. Big help. I mean, what we could not have a greater asset in the community than a man like Tim Alburn. Just simple as that. He's just the dude rocks. Anyway, this video is going to be relatively quick today. Got one coming up right before it on cross members, and I believe when we left off on the cross members, we didn't quite get to the engine support bracket. Okay, so what I'd like to do here before we get going on this grill and this hood, which is the important part, because right now you guys are starting to get some of these kits and there are a few tricks, and so I am going to take you through a couple of those tricks today. Anyway, but where we left off on the frames was at this engine support bracket here, and the reason it happened is because the one that I had was the wrong size. So we have made some new ones and all of that, and so what we're going to do is we're going to show you what's going on here. So what you want to do is from the front of the frame, the very tip of the frame where it angles down and comes to its point, all right, you're going to want to measure in a total of 6 millimeters. All right, that's where you're going to want to go, 6 millimeters in. All right, and theoretically, if all of this plays out as it should, okay, the Italieri radiator should fit in here. Okay, but we're going to ultimately get to that step, and if it becomes a problem, then we'll figure out how to solve the problem, and that's what these videos are about. This is a brand new product, and it is you know, I've tested it to the levels that I can, but this is actually the first real build when it comes to this. Everything else has been on the mock-up back here, and so we don't know how everything plays out with all three, with, you know, mostly 389 parts. So anyway, that's what these videos are about. So the one other thing that I would like to show you is we did put the 389 custom front end, you know, air ride front suspension on this particular Italieri frames. So what I'd like to show you is this is an Italieri pin. Okay, this comes in your kit, in your Italieri kit, to secure your hood on. And just to show you on our front end here, bingo, they slide right in there just like they're supposed to and come right out just as they do on the Italieri front end, which is right here, and that's your hinge hole for that. Bingo, right in there. They work exactly the same, and that will lead us into the next thing. We want to get you from here, which is the way you receive your grill in the 389 project conversion kit, Italieri conversion kit, and ultimately this is what you want to build. Okay, and just to show you, let's bring the mock-up over here one time. Okay, let's bring the mock-up over here. Let's grab us a pair of tweezers. And you've seen these hoods on this mock-up, so I mean, you know that part of it certainly works. So, but we want to get you to the point where you can just take your little old tweezers, slide that bad dude on there, and slide that pin right into place. Okay? Just like it's supposed to be. All right, and then you get your working hood. And that is what we are going to do today. We are going to get you there, to that point. Most of the other things that are in the kit are pretty self-explanatory as to where they go. And with the exception of a few things like this forward cab support, and we covered that in the frame modification. And so we're going to set that over there like that. We're going to put this back over here like this. Alrighty, and we're going to get to work. So when you get your kit, you are going to get whatever grill you ordered, whether it be a 3-bar grill, whether it be a 7-bar grill like this, or whether it be a no-bar grill, whichever you ordered. Okay, that's going to come in your kit. So the first things that we're going to do is we're just going to take a tad little bit of sandpaper right here. Okay, because what happens, guys, is when I print these things, okay, I print them on the plate and they lift up a little bit, and there are support trees underneath all of this. Okay, so what we want to do first is take a little sandpaper, and trust me, like I said, with the 389 project stuff, the goal here is to ensure that you have as little post work, which is basically sanding or priming out. I mean, you know, I'm sure a lot of you guys have gotten an awful lot of 3D printed stuff before, and it's got all these big gnarly lines in it, and you got to spend hours and massive amounts of muscle trying to get those lines out. Well, we've tried everything that we can to try to avoid that. Now, I'm not saying that we don't have any, okay? If you look right here on the corner of this grill, all right, there's a couple little really light lines right there. All right, same thing with the other side. But the rest of the grill is nice and smooth, the way it's supposed to be. The same thing with the hood. Okay, you've got a light amount of sanding to do here, a light amount of sanding to do here. And in a conversation with Tim the other day, he thinks maybe I should probably strengthen these corners up a little bit, and I may do that. Okay, and then you have a very, very, very slight amount right here on the tops of the hood. Okay, and once you do that, you will be completely smooth, like it was a piece of metal itself. And I mean, it is so fine that it will take very little, very, very little effort for you to get there. Okay, so, and that's the goal here at the 389 project. So we're going to take some more sandpaper. Now we're going to do the hood. All right, just gonna, because when the hood is printed, it is printed this way. All right, so those trees or those supports are all here in this territory right here. A little bit on the fenders, a little bit on the front of the fenders, and right here on the front of the forward steps. Okay, so you're going to want to take a little bit of sandpaper, go on in here like so. Okay, just sand it out. Now I want you to be careful, because where this fender meets the hood, it's pretty thin. Okay, so you do not want to manhandle this stuff, all right? If you put it in the light, you can pretty much see a little bit of light shine through there. Okay, so you want to be careful. Hang on, one of my cameras just went down. And record. Okay, so where we were before that camera decided it needed a battery change is we're sanding the front of the hood. Okay, so as I said, just a little bit of light work there. You just want to get whatever residual is left from the supports, but you want to handle these hoods semi-carefully, because as you saw, if you're paying attention to the 389 Facebook page, in the shipping, we did have one solid brake. I mean, a real solid brake, and then we had a crack right here as well. And you know, a lot of reasons that could happen. Could be taking it out of the package. Tim did point out that the bag that these hoods are coming to you in, okay, is a little tight, and he's absolutely 100% correct. It is a little tight. I do have some new boxes, little 4x4 boxes that are coming to solve that in the future. Okay, you'll notice right now I'm trying to get right up underneath this the center strip lip there, right there, just to make sure that we got it all. And then once that's done, this bad dude should sit right on there pretty darn nice. All right, now you might wanna, depending on your level of anality, I got a pretty high one myself. You may want to do just a little bit of extra sanding, just so you get even nicer, cleaner lines there. It wouldn't hurt you to put a little bit of effort into it, and it will clean things up a whole lot nicer. Okay, this happens to be a different hood. There are two different kinds of projects going on here. We have the Italiere conversion process, which is what you're here for. And then we have the long-term goal, which is the 389 project stuff. Okay, so, and that's where this Ultra Cab that we've been talking about on the Facebook page is coming from, and there's a day cab and all kinds of other cool stuff coming, you know. But we're having a few little issues with the interior of this right now. We did get the tops cut, so that's a good thing. Got a little bit of interior in there, but I just don't like how everything's lining up right at the moment. So we're going to do a little bit more work on it. The Italiere door panels are a little too small. So we got to do a little resizing for this particular cab and for the day cab as well. And then we should be golden. And then, of course, this morning I checked, and the windows for the Italiere will not go into these, so unfortunately I may end up having to play the 3D printing game in clear, and although I've been trying to avoid that because it so often comes out foggy, and I don't like that at all. So, all right, moving back. So the goal here, you are going to get a set of hinges. Okay, I am going to stand by one moment. Sometimes these hinges, when I'm taking them off the plate, break in half. You have a little, no, I'll show you. You have a little, I forget what they call it. Anyway, you got a little thing there at the bottom of the darn thing, and that comes from the printing process, and your little supports. So the goal here today is a 46 millimeter spread. That is what you want. Or correct. Okay. These hinges do not mount to the side. Okay. So do not try to put them on the side like this, or else they'll be all funky. Okay. They mount directly to the face of the grill. All right, like so, if you can see this. Okay, we got that camera zoomed in now. They mount directly to the front as such. Okay, not to the side, directly to the front. Okay, there is a very slight little bend in each one of them. Okay, and you have to watch that bend carefully to make sure that it doesn't go wonky on you. All right, you want it to be in just about the right place. And then the other thing that they do is they line up perfectly with the bottom of the grill. All right, so that's your alignment. And hopefully I'll fix some of this a little bit down the road here. Maybe I'll get them all the way over to the side so they can mount to the side and the front. I just haven't done that because I'm afraid it'll interfere with some other things as of yet. But I may ultimately do it, because looking at it today, it may not interfere with the headlights, because at some point I am going to put some kind of a notch or a hole in the side of the grill. So that's basically what you want. You want it to just sit there on the front like that. They are angled a little bit on the front to help you get the right angle for the okay, so we're just going to throw a little glue right in here like so. Okay. Did I grab the wrong one? Be careful, because you can. Be careful, because you can. It is very easy. Make sure that it does not go in some weird funky direction. Okay, that one actually is going in a weird funky direction. So And this is the trickiest part of the whole thing, guys. All right. This is the trickiest part. Is figuring out which one of these damn hinges goes in the right spot. Okay, I think it's going to be this one right here. Okay, and I think maybe what I'll do now that I'm sitting here talking to y'all about it, I think what I'll do, I think I have the capacity to print something on a particular part in one of my slicing programs, and maybe I'll do that. Okay, so I'm gonna go back over here again. Let's use our other one for reference there. See, they're looking like they actually go in a little bit, so let's go to this side. Sorry to do this to you guys, but this is part of this will probably be the most frustrating part of the whole thing right here. And that's why we're doing it. That's why we're doing it on video. That's why we're doing it on video, so it is a transparent process that so nothing's being hidden from you. You know what I mean? Because I don't know about you guys, but I don't like that kind of stuff. I don't like when stuff is not out there. You're told about it. You know, we like honesty and integrity over here, and I'm going to do my dangest to ensure that 389 Project uses it to its fullest. And so everything that you are going to have to do, I am going to do as well. Okay, and I'm going to take you through that process to the best of my ability so that it is clear and honest and you know what you're getting. Those 22 or 23 of you that just got are just getting your kits, you guys are the most important ones right now, and that's why we're doing this, because it will not be long and I'll be getting calls from y'all saying, hey, what in the hell is this? Okay, now see, this is what I was talking about right here. That does not quite look right. And the reason it doesn't look right, oh, no, okay. No, we're good. We're good. We're good. All right, cool. Give this just a slight little move. Give this just a slight little move before it sets up. But ultimately what you want is you want 43, 42 or 43 millimeters between those 2 points. Because the spread on both the Italieri and mine, you know what? Maybe I was incorrect. You want 46 and 40. That's what I got on that. It's 46. Okay, so we're good. All right, so we're going to change that. We'll cut that 42 and 43 out a little bit later, and unfortunately, that's what I told Tim. Hey, Tim, 46. Anyway, but yeah, so that's where we are there. And then while that's curing up, I guess we'll just, oh, you know what we need to do? Next step we need to do. All right, so the next thing we are going to do is we are going to, if you will notice, I have left out your huck fasteners, okay, in a section here. This is roughly where you want your headlights, both sides, okay? This is roughly where you want your headlights to be. So, if you got one of the first 25 kits, or even some of the follow-up kits, you're getting 2 pairs of headlights, all right? There's not a huge difference between them, but there is a difference between them. Another camera dying. Stand by. Wow. Okay, well, we're going to go without that camera today. That's what we're going to do, because that thing's so damned hot. But, all right, so where were we? Headlights. So there is a difference. These are just a hair fatter. These are the ones that in the package are the redesigned ones that have just a little bit more of a bottom angle to them. Okay, which represents a little bit closer to what's on your current 389s. All right, so the important part to this is, if you try to do this, if you try to hold this like this or do all that, throw the headlight on there, and just hold it in place and do all that stuff, chances are it's going to come out a little funky. All right, so best thing to do, just lay it flat. All right, we're going to take a measuring tape here. We're going to take the little measuring tape, and I am going to put mine 1 full centimeter or 10 millimeters up. Okay, that's where I'm going to put mine. It's a little difficult doing this with a camera on you, you know? I mean, Jiminy Christmas and all. Too many moving parts. So, just about there. All right. Do the same thing on the other side. Darn it. All right. Double check that measurement just to be sure. Measure twice, cut once, right? Here we go. All right. And that's where the bottom of my headlight is going to go. They are cut at an angle, just like the grill is. So they should just set right in there. So let's take a little bit of glue. take it the dog has found something. Let's take a little bit of glue. Dab her on there. Alright. Let's find our light. And right to the bottom. One centimeter up. Alright, just let it sit there. Alright. Light over here a little bit so I can see what the heck I'm doing. And set that bad dude right on there. 1 centimeter up. Alright. And then just let that puppy just sit there on your desk. You know, until that glue sets up. And you're good. One of the things that we are going to cover in a future video, not too far down the road here, is another thing that you guys have been asking about. Am I going to make lenses for these headlights? Well, up until I found the window issue with the cabs, the answer to that would have been no. I have no intention of doing that. There are a variety of different ways to go about it, whether it be filling it with, epoxy or a clear resin. The clear resin part, I can do that. Not everybody can do that because the clear resin often creates bubbles, and I have a pressure pot over here to take the bubbles out. That's the preferred method for me. But I have a pressure pot to take care of it with. So chances are you don't. Unless you're a commission builder and you have all the cool stuff available to you. But if you're just a regular builder, you probably don't. And so I would say just go out and get a super thin piece of plastic, and cut it out a little bit large, cut it the whole size of this, and just sand it down until it fits in there. What you don't want to do is get a foggy lens on there, because there's a lot of really cool details in these headlights. You have the daytime running light in there. You have all kinds of cool stuff happening in these headlights, and you don't want to cover it up with something that isn't really clear, super clear, because then it's kind of pointless to go through it all. When it comes to painting the headlights, and we'll go over that too, couple of ways to do that. You can do the interiors in black and get that custom headlight look, or you can just do them in chrome when you do the whole darn grill, you know what I mean, and then just go back. But the problem with that is if you guys are like I am, I'm using Revell chrome spray, and so it doesn't like to be handled after it's sprayed on. I am going to be trying out a Spazstick solution that I had read somewhere, that you can put a specific type of a Spazstick uh, clear over it, and it'll be good. But I haven't tested that out. I haven't tested that theory out, but I'm going to on the build that we're doing right here. So another thing, while these are just kind of setting up right there, been doing a fair amount. Okay, so our camera cut off, and as we got to a critical point, I was talking about doing the painting work and so forth and so on, while this grill was setting up on my desk. And then of course we went through and glued it onto the hood, which unfortunately you're gonna miss, but I think you can probably figure out how to glue the grill onto the hood. But like I said, do the prep work before. Make sure that and you know, keep test fitting it. Test fit it until it gives you exactly the seam that you want. You know what I mean? And just keep working it. I mean, we are custom modelers, and so customizing things and making things fit is kind of what we do. So anyway, you'll get there. I promise you'll get there. So anyway, we missed this whole part of it, and we're going to go back and do it again. So anyway, I brought up the mock-up frame because that is what you are going to more than likely have, because you won't have my front ends. And remember, we're looking for a 46 millimeter spread on the inside of these hinges. That's what you want, 46 millimeters. Okay, 46, very important number. Okay, so then you're just gonna take your, had to pop the front bumper that was sitting on this thing off of it. Because it was giving me a rash putting the hood back on, so, or putting the hood on it. So we're just gonna get in there, slide that bad dude in there. We're at about 45 with this particular set right now, so I got to spread them out just a tad little bit, but they'll take it. Just don't, like I said, try not to manhandle all this stuff too awful much. I mean, they are models, and you know, they're held together with, you know, one form or another of glue, whether it be super glue or, you know, some fancy name. Don't make no darn difference. But yeah, just line it up. Second one's always harder. Come on, tire, get out of the way. I don't think I'm quite there yet. I'll line up. It's hanging me up here. There it goes. Bingo. Just like so. Slide that bad dude right up in there, and you now have yourself a functional 389 hood. Alright, and then I started to put this here thing back on there, but unfortunately it's You know, and it should be a little tight. It should be just a little bit tight. You know, but there she is. There she is, just working as she's supposed to work. And then if you want, you can go ahead and throw your this thing probably won't sit up very well because I've glued about a half a dozen bumpers onto this thing. So, and putting glue over glue is always tough. But that's what mock-ups are for. And for my front ends, my front suspension systems, it's the same. It's the same 40. It's the same 46 millimeter spread. And we'll bring that up here and just show you one more time. It's the same 46 millimeter spread. Right there. So regardless of which front end you use, it will remain the same. And we're just going to put us another one of our big custom 24-inch tapered front bumper, because there are still a few old school boys out there, go back to the old Peterbilt days, who like their tapered bumpers. And so I figured, what the heck, if a couple of them are building models out there, well then 389 Project will offer up a, I know them Texas Square bumpers have you know, taken over the world, but there's still a few of us out there that love them old tapered bumpers, but need a big one. You know what I mean? You need a big tapered bumper, not a little tiny one. So we decided to make one up for you. And this will probably take like forever to set up because, you know, like I said, it's glue over glue over glue over glue over glue, and it's very difficult. It doesn't stick very well. All right, yeah, it's clearing. And your factory Italieri bumper will go on here just fine. It was on the same truck, just the same mock-up here not long ago. And so anyway, there's your functional 389 hood on your Italieri frame. There you have it. The hood that we just built. Setting on the mock-up frame. And along with all the other stuff. And that is going to pretty much conclude what we're doing today. So as you can see, it is not a horribly large deal, but it does take some doing. Most of the other things that are in the kit will not. They just, you know, they glue on, like, you know, the battery boxes, DPF boxes, you know, all of that stuff. You know, your mirrors go where your mirrors go, and all of that cool stuff. So I will see, while we're here, a few more things that are coming up on the agenda. I think if you're following the Facebook page, you're seeing the battery box game. Yes. Okay. So the battery box that came in your kit is not necessarily the 389 battery box. It was offered on the 389 for a short time in the very beginning, but it was replaced by a standard battery box quickly afterwards. And that being said, you can either use it. My thought was that the box that's in the kit would fit that, and so I wanted to give you that other box as well. But I was digging around in my Italieri box, and the one that's in there sucks. So we do have a brand new battery box that we just whipped up, and we'll get that and see how well it prints here real quick. So we also just did up some air cleaners. All right. Not too bad. We left a little hole in there in case you guys want to get crazy and throw some lights in there or something. We haven't done the light bars for him yet, but we will be doing them. We'll be doing a Vortex version of this as well as a strapless version of this as well. And you know, we do have we've got our bumpers out here, you know. Even got one for some custom light bars to throw down in the bottom of them there. And there's just a wide variety of different types of bumpers that we can make over here. I mean, we can make pretty much anything. And then, of course, what we were just talking about, our big Texas tapered bumper. And so, anyway, we got all kinds of cool stuff coming on. You know, I got anyway, that's we got all kinds of cool stuff coming. So anyway, folks, and we're gonna call it quits on this one. You guys have a beautiful day. Happy modeling from the 389 project. Have a good night. Take care. Bye-bye.